Good afternoon again. So this is the moment everyone's been waiting for, when we take all the challenges that have been distilled across the day and hand them over to the next generation to solve. And hopefully they will solve them in a generation and not the 136 years that we've been told it will take. Starting with Amina Priscille Longoh, who you've heard is Minister of Women, Family and Children from Chad, and putting to her this question: what do governments need to do to empower women to take more leading roles in the public sector? So it's a very big question, but we're concluding, so we're going to ask big questions.
Thank you. First, I would like to say thank you to the organizer for the invitation. And going straight to the question, I will try to speak in English because I'm a French speaking, and I will try to be on topic for us. I think government must firstly promote gender equality and also promote equal opportunities because, as you know, our countries all over the world are going through a lot of inequalities when we speak about women coming to the decision making. So government have to bring more women on the table of decision, but also not just bringing women to the table of decision, but also giving them the means to support their policies. Because I think without means and without support for the women when they are in the government or on the table of decision, they cannot do more. And the Secretary General of the United Nations once said, and I would like to re-say this, it says, women topic is a cause actually, but in the future, the next future, this is going to be a norm. And for this, it means that we have to invest in the education of the girls actually, for them to be tomorrow at the table of decision with the competencies that they need to allow them to be able to take decisions for that. So I think this is firstly what the governments have to do to support when women come in the government.
Thank you. Sahar, Albazar, moving to you. Can you give the Egyptian perspective?
Sure, thank you. First, I want to start by thanking UAE for hosting such an important event for all of us, and thanking also Her Excellency Ahoud Rumi for the invitation. For Egypt, we've seen women joining the government in a ministerial position since the 60s. Yet, since then, the empowerment that we've seen as women wasn't not as we have seen in the past 7 years. Once His Excellency, Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, he's a believer in empowerment in women. So since then, you can find us 25% in the cabinet. You find us 44% in the National Human Rights Council. You find us 56% in the diplomacy field. You find us 28% in parliament. And not only this, you find empowerment in legislation frameworks. In 2014, the legislations granted a quota for women in local councils. It was 25%. And in the constitutional amendment in 2019, we also granted the parliament 25% quota for MPs, for women. And also we had the Senate, now we have 14%. And aside of the legislation empowerment, we have also capacity building for them. We have a lot of programs that empowers women to join leadership positions. And beside both capacity building and legislation, Egypt in 2017 launched the very first national strategy for women empowerment, and it was the first in the world to be focused on women empowerment.
Thank you so much. And finally, moving to our hosts, Sara, Falaknaz, representing them. Could you give your perspective on that question?
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. To begin with, I would like to thank Her Excellency for inviting us and us being part of Women in Government Forum. To answer your question, Robyn, government should do more to create an environment where women can work and succeed. You have government in different parts of the world, so they know better and best what works best in their societies. For example, for instance, by mandating quotas for public and the private sector, that's for instance, or providing affordable childcare, as well as raising awareness for women in leadership. Now, for instance, in the UAE, I've been fortunate enough that I have a seat in the parliament, and that's because a presidential decree was issued back in 2019, raising the women participation in parliament to 50%. That is a testament that government play a vital and crucial role in increasing that women participation in power. But not only that, you need a proactive, positive kind of government like similar to the UAE.
The figure of equal participation in Parliament is so commendable and impressive. I'm going to now go in reverse order and continue with you for a moment and ask you to get personal and reflect on something that shaped your particular experience and helped you most in becoming the leader you are today.
So one of the things that shaped my experience, let's go a step before. So what made me be or reach where I am today? It's the right educational system that we have in the UAE. Of course, prior to that, it starts from the household. I had parents who believed in my capabilities, and they kept on telling me and reminding me that I can be whoever I want to be. And that's basically also the idea in the UAE. We have, for example, a government that believes in the power of women. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the ruler of Dubai, said that we no longer empower women, but we empower the community through women. So that is a testament and to shape who I am today. One of the things that really shaped is me joining the Federal National Service. It's a voluntary military service that shaped who I am today. Whether be it made me renew my patriotic and leadership traits.
Thank you. Sahar.
Well, I'm going to get really personal. As a human being, I've been always trying to stick to my true self and my true calling. And since I was 19, I felt that my true calling is community services. So once I joined college, I started a social club in the university to build capacity of the youth, the students, and avail opportunities for them to volunteer and serve the underprivileged communities in Cairo. And then when I graduated from college, when I was selecting the jobs that I want to apply to, I had the same mindset. Where is the job where I can really serve communities? So I joined the private sector in the branch of corporate social responsibilities. Then I joined the international organizations like the World Bank on youth empowerment programs. And then I moved to the governmental sector and worked as an advisor to the Minister of Social Solidarity. And here I am as an MP, a public servant, where I serve the citizens with initiatives and legislations. And I'm sure that the future will bring more opportunities and challenges that I will learn from.
Thank you. And Amina, what shaped your experience?
I will say firstly, my confidence, the endurance, and the trust in what I was doing. Because I came from a community in which girls don't have a voice. And I was growing, hearing like you are just a woman, and you are just going to be married and have kids, and you will not be an important person in your life. So that has touched me so much, and it has helped me to be more endurant, to support a lot of things, but also to focus on my aims. I start also working with a foundation that I found to help young girls trust in themselves, but also to go far in their dreams. And after that, I came in the private sector with an oil company before coming to the public sector. So I love the taste of risk, and I learn from my mistakes, and I go for what I want.
Well, I have been told that we have to end this session now because we're running behind, but I think there's no better note to end on than that. So thank you so much to Your Excellencies for that inspiring conclusion, and thank you to Your Excellency for hosting this essential and inspiring and global conversation. I hope you all go away with inspiration.
Thank you.